O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Hey, there we go. There he is.
What's up, bud?
How'd you feel last night? Because it's got to feel like crap for you, man. Because it's like to end the season this way after this regular season, and you know, I really thought that this was finally the year that they were going to break through, my brother.
Yeah.
So disappointing last night to see what's gone on and what's developed with this team, man. It's a real shame.
Well, listen, Tampa Bay had a plan for them and played it to perfection. They just sat around and waited for the Panthers to make a mistake or what have you. And, you know, for the first 3 games, the Panthers really didn't show up. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is. They made a couple mistakes here and there. Game 1 was a major disappointment. Game 2 could have gone either way. Game 3, the third period, I don't know what that was. Tampa Bay was the team that looked like they were down 0-2, not the Panthers. And then Game 4, Panthers played the best game.
They played bad last night.
Perhaps of the playoffs, and then you just had Vasilevsky. So if you play Game 4 and Game 2, it's okay. All right, cool. You move on,
Right.
and that's that. Unfortunately for the Panthers, that came last night, and that was that.
So, a couple of years ago, I started the fire, and I said Dale Talon's got to go. And most people were kind of nervous about that statement, and eventually, everybody came to my side of it, and they finally got rid of Dale Talon. I said this before yesterday's game. I think the Panthers are going to have to trade Hubie or Barkov. They're going to have to go find an SOB, and Riley has done it throughout the years, finding Zoe or Shaq or Timmy or Jimmy or whoever over the years. He goes and finds that disgruntled star and trades for him. I'm not exactly sure, George, if that SOB is somewhere in the NHL right now on some team. You follow it a hell of a lot more than we do, but I think this version of the Panthers is done. You know who they are. And you're led by 2 Bam Adebayos, and you can't be led by 2 Bam Adebayos. You need to be led by an SOB. Do you agree that it might be time to shake it up a little bit to the point that you've got to go find your own Kucherov? You know what I mean? Because they've got 2 of those, Stamkos and Kucherov. You know, you've got to go find your Crosby. You got to go find your Matthews. You got to go find some son of a buck that will take over, that will impose his will. I don't think they have that on this roster. As good as Barkov and Huberdeau are talent-wise, I don't think they're wired that way. So your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with that. And you could have had a player like that for free this season in Evander Kane. Nobody wanted to touch him. And you look at, because he, comes with a lot of baggage, but you look at what he's doing at Edmonton right now, in the playoffs, playing with a very skilled team, and he's putting up some serious points. Anyway, I think, there might be some validity to that. It won't be Barkov.
It'll be Hubie. That's what
it's probably going to be Huberdeau. If you
and I are on the same page. Yeah.
If you trade Huberdeau here's what I'm thinking. He's got 1 year left on his contract. If you don't think, and I've been saying this all week to anyone who listens to me, and nobody does, but if you don't think that you can sign him, if you don't think that he's going to want to take your terms, and by that I say he's going to be 31 years old. Does he want a 7-year deal? Does he want an 8-year deal? Well, I don't think Florida can give him that. So, and I don't think Florida wants to give him that. I think Florida would give him like 4, maybe 5, and that may not be good enough for him. So he may be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to try and okay. The Panthers are already going to be up against the cap this year. They are already going to have to make some moves. Somebody's got to go. They don't have any. They're in big trouble on the cap because you've got Keith Yandel, $6 million hitting this year. You've got Barkov getting a $4 million raise. Jonathan Huberdeau right now is very affordable at $6 million. It's a very team-friendly contract. So is Mackenzie Weegar. Those guys would bring something decent on, for the Panthers, and allow them some flexibility to do some more things. There's some tough decisions that have to be made this offseason by Bill Zito. And I would not be surprised if some of the bigger names that maybe you're gone, and maybe that's done to keep Claude Giroux. Maybe that's done to keep, Sherrod. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens.
Give me some players outside of Evander Kane. Is
Oh,
there?
I don't. You don't know what's available.
You haven't gone there yet. Okay.
Yeah, no, I haven't even. No, because come on, Bill Zito finds players you never get. Nobody in their wildest dream thought Patrick Hornquist was coming to the Florida Panthers. Nobody thought in their wildest dreams that you could trade Mike Matheson. So, he's been able to pull some rabbits out of hats so far. I mean, maybe Patrick Hornquist played his last game yesterday. He's got like a $5.5 million cap hit, 1 year left. You love everything he brings. He's that SOB guy, but he doesn't, but the production just isn't there.
Dude, Verhaeghe was our stud in the first round. Without Verhaeghe,
right.
Our boys don't get through the first round.
Right. So Verhaeghe, and he gets a raise this year, so you've got Verhaeghe getting more money. Mason Marchment, you can't keep him right now because he's going to demand a lot of money on the open market. But if you're able to move a couple pieces, thinking that you can replace that with some, some better used capital, I think they'll go for it, because now, after you just got swept by Tampa, you're not worried about we're going to tear apart what we've built and how special it is, because, hey, after last night, it wasn't that special.
Yeah, it's not special. And sadly, I don't think Brunette survives either. I mean,
yeah, and again, like I said, 2 months ago, I heard that Brunette wasn't even all that interested, because I was like, well, how do you replace him? And then, that's not really right. And they're, well, I don't think he'll be that upset about it. So, and in talking to him last night, he said at one point, yeah, I love this team. I would like to be back. And then at other times, it sounded like, yeah, I'm not so sure about it. So I don't know. I mean, I threw out some things today at FloridaHockeyNow.com. Who knows what kind of backroom deals have been talked about. Maybe there's a front office job for Andrew Brunette with the Panthers. Maybe he just wants to be an assistant coach. I don't know. We don't know. So, we just go by what they tell us. The Panthers are very close-lipped when it comes to this stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see. Andrew Brunette, obviously, if he wants to be a head coach, he did a pretty, he's a candidate to stay. And I know he got out coached in the first round. And I think that a little bit of that in round two, but I put the blame on the players for round two.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm blaming more the players. But
listen,
here's the thing.
How many years in with the Florida Panthers have the coaches been blamed for the failures of the players? Go down the list. Go down the list of all the coaches that have been sacrificed here because the players didn't get it done.
I agree.
Andrew Brunette's a first-year coach. He got out-coached by one of the better coaches in the league in Washington, and Peter Laviolette. He was going against John Cooper, who's been doing this for 10 years and has, 2 rings. I mean, all right, everybody learns. I mean, this was a great learning experience for Brunette. If he wants the Florida Panther job, and unless you've got Barry Trotz, unless you've got Joel Quenneville coming back,
that's what I think. They're going to go for.
Then I think, yeah, if you don't have either of those two, then and I think they want a more experienced coach. So,
let me ask you, if you have a more experienced coach, because I'm with you, I'm blaming the players more than anything. To me, Brunette is, way behind. Yeah. Like Bob wasn't an issue, and I'm not going to put Brunette like, oh my God, he was so terrible. I'm blaming more the players. Brunette is after the players. Okay,
sure.
But if you had an experienced coach, a Trotz, somebody that could rattle cages and command respect, could he have eked out any wins in this last series?
I don't know, because Andrei Vasilevsky's not a coach. I mean, that guy was just they scored 3 goals. The best scoring team in hockey scored 3 goals in 4 games. So I don't know what would have changed. I mean, Tampa Bay again sat back. They played a road game. They waited for the Panthers. And last night, if not for Sergei Bobrovsky, your buddy, Florida would have been down 2-3-0 in the second period, because they made stupid mistakes. They were
Yeah.
clearing, they had these stupid backhanded clearing passes that get picked off in the slot. Sergei Bobrovsky saved it. Florida should have been down. Should have been down in that game, and they weren't.
You're right.
And then they get a fluky goal from Pat Maroon, that stick down and whatever. Sergei Bobrovsky was terrific. Florida couldn't score. What are you going to do?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely blaming it more on the players. And actually, as much as Bob has been a disappointment to living up to that contract, he was not the problem overall this season or in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Bob was good this year. Yeah, Bob was.
We
good.
have to admit this year Bob was not the problem
No.
overall. What are you hearing from the franchise itself? How are they handling all of this? Because I got to imagine Violets who are steaming right now with what's going on.
Well, I guess it's too soon. I haven't heard anything really. I mean, it just happened last night. I know there was some disappointment in losing the 2 games at home. They kind of signed their own death sentence. I mean, they were going to Tampa, not dead men walking, but the road was long to have to win. A game you probably had to win 2 in Tampa to even have a chance, because even coming home down 3-1, let's say the Panthers win Sunday and then lose last night and they come home 3-1. Yes, they have life, but Tampa's got the hammer, and that's a team you do not want to face in an elimination game, as we saw last night. So Vasilevsky in elimination in series clinching games has 6 shutouts in his last 7 tries. It's unbelievable what he's done for them. They've won 10 straight playoff series. So I don't know what's going around the Panthers. They feel like they're in good position because, listen, a lot has been made now about how Bill Zito traded away all these future assets for rental players. That was absolutely 100% the right call. You get a chance to bring in Claude Giroux, you do it. You get a chance to bring in Ben Sherratt, you do it.
Yes,
and he didn't give up any assets. He gave up first-round picks that are probably going to be the 26th overall pick anyway, and you wouldn't see that guy till 2028. So you didn't give anything up for the near future.
How much more building and how much more prospects are we going to have, dude? Enough already with that.
The Detroit Red Wings for 20 years traded away their first-round picks because they knew they were finding Hall of Famers in the 6th and 7th round. That's what the Panthers have to do, and they feel like with Zito, with his staff, they're going to draft better, whether they've got the 26th overall pick or they've got 171. They're going to find players. So they didn't give up their kids down in Charlotte in the AHL. There are going to be guys coming up next year, maybe not superstars, but depth players at a good price. So they feel like the organization is in good place. Yes, they're up against the cap, but they feel like with Zito and his staff, and then I stress his staff, because Vinny Viola's opened up the checkbook, not only on players, not only on hotel, whatever.
Viola's an ass kicker, bro.
The staff, the front office is loaded. You've got 3 or 4 former general managers of the National Hockey League and the American Hockey League working in there. So it's a collaborative effort. And then you let Zito, pull the deals,
gives me hope.
Pull the rabbits out of his hat. So
that's the guy.
Be fine. I mean, this is a good team. This is a good, and the franchise is in the best shape. It really is the best shape it's ever been in. And I know you didn't like Dale Talon, but he did. This place was an absolute dumpster fire.
Yeah, but you know what?
Here.
As that legacy goes on, the legacy dries out, my brother, because Barkov,
no, for sure, right. As it got on,
Ekblad, their legacy is jack crap. That's the problem now.
These are the three of the top players this franchise has ever seen.
I know, but they've produced squat.
Okay.
And that's
fair. And that is fair. But they are all also, aside from Huberdeau, they're 25, 26 years old. One of these days it's going to click. It sucks right now. You're a basketball guy. It's, when you were the Detroit Pistons, it sucked to lose year after year after year to Boston. But then one year
you eventually got over the hump. How many more years with these guys?
But this is a new deal with the Panthers. This is year 2.
But here's what I was going to tell you. Here's what I was going to tell you. What I love about Viola Sifu and now Zito is that Viola and Sifu inherited a whole bunch of stuff. And then along the way, they've made the changes and the franchise has gotten better, and they'll make the tough decisions, including saying, hey, Dale Talon, you did a good job, but it's time to make the change. and they did. And Zito has a great feel for what's going on. And he's already made proper changes. And I think Zito sees the same thing I saw in his top guys. And I think he's going to go get a son of a bitch when it's all said and done. Because when he took over, the first thing that I complained about the Panthers was that they were freaking wussies, bro. They were constantly getting pushed around and all that. And he went and got Gudis and all these guys and toughened up the team. And maybe he still has to take it to another level still. But overall, that's what I like about Zito, and that's what I like about Viola and Sifu. They will not stay stuck in the mud. If they see there's something, they will make the tough decision. So that's what I like about those three guys, that there needs to be some tough decisions made this offseason, and those guys will do it. So
yeah, for sure. And we don't know a lot of talk, as Joe Thornton probably played his last NHL game last night. But there were probably a number of guys, maybe even some people we haven't even thought about, who played their last game as Panthers last night, just because some deals have to be. You just mentioned Gudis. As much as they love him, he's got 1 year left on his contract. He would probably get something on the market. I mean, who knows? I'm not saying that Gudis is going to get traded. They love him. They might be wanting to give him a 5-year extension. I don't know. But
he's the guy that was at the strip club. He's the guy.
There was nobody at the strip club.
No, listen, here's the best part about it. Barkov's a goober. That guy would never be at a strip club anyway, so why would you even believe that story? I mean, Barkov and Hubie look like nice guys. Those guys don't look like strip club guys. Now, Gudis, he looks like the guy that might go to a strip club, have a beer, and then go kick somebody's ass the next night.
Right,
I can see him.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. Yeah, I'm with you.
There are certain guys, like when I used to cover the Heat, you saw Gary Payton. You knew where he was going after the game with that big roll of money that he had. Barkov and Hubie, when I heard that story, I was like, guys, have you seen those guys aren't strip club guys? Come on, man. They're good dudes. Leave them alone.
Barkov was in his room playing video games.
For sure, dude. Like I said, a risky night for Barkov is that he had a Coke. That's it. Yeah, I had a Coke. I had a lot of sugar tonight. I should have done that.
I should have the sugar. I'll have to work that off tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That's about it. All right. What are you working on Florida hockey now that you have the whole off season?
Wow, yeah. I mean, the canvas is open, right? I mean, right now we've got a story. I got a story up about Andrew Burnett this morning. That was the first thing I put up about what does his future entail, and there are a lot of questions that need to be answered with Andrew Burnett. We also have a story up that about how the Florida Panthers, how the Tampa Bay Lightning, when they lost in 2019, when Bobrovsky and the Blue Jackets swept them, they were the first president, number one team in the NHL to get swept out of the first round. The Panthers are now got swept out of the second. Tampa Bay changed its game, right? John Cooper said, fellas, you wanted to play this up and down, lead the league in scoring crap. I was against it, but I let you do it. Now we're going to do it my way. Now we're going to play some defense. Now we're going to stranglehold teams. Look at them now. They've got 2 Stanley Cups, and they're working on a third. So with some of these moves that the Panthers have to make, do they maybe tone down the offense a little bit and kind of cramp, start playing a different style of game? Perhaps. And maybe that's what's needed because, listen, as much fun as the Florida Panthers were in the regular season, those 3-on-3 overtimes kind of catch up to you. I mean, we talked about it. There is no 3-on-3 in overtime in the playoffs. And, teams figure out how to stop offense, Let's
hope they figure it out, brother, because I don't want to end another season this way because this was just to lift me up this high and then just drop my ass.
Hey, listen, but they're not going to fall off the face of the earth. This is still a franchise. Listen, they've still got everybody, and even if the Panthers decide, hey, we may not be able to sign Huberdeau, but we want him to stay. You still got guys that you're going to go into next year with. Yeah, maybe you lose them for nothing, but I don't know, and we'll see. I don't know. Maybe they've got a 7-year contract sitting on Huberdeau's desk. I don't know.
We do have a new theme song for the Panthers now.
No, what is that?
Oh yeah, Sean, let's play the new theme song for the Panthers because we have told the listeners to get some catnip, any cat food, yarn balls, drop them off over at Kittyland. It's not Pantherland anymore. And from now on, you're not going to the FLN Live Arena. You're actually going to the litter box because they're kitties now. That's what they are. They're not cats. They're kitties. So we have a There we go. So we have encouraged listeners to go to Pantherland today, drop off any kitty litter, anything that they've got, because, Panthers are going to be busy all year long taking care of all these kitty cats all off season. And maybe they can grow up to become real cats. Who knows one day. So
We'll see.
There you go. Meow, 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 meow. There you go. I think that'll be we're going to come up with a shirt and everything for the Panthers for the meow meows. How about
Sounds
that?
Good.
Is it all right? Can we call it the litter box now? That's what we're going to call it?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of
prove
people
it otherwise.
Yeah. It's going to have some weird, goofy name anyway.
Right. It doesn't really have a sponsor at the moment.
It's going to have some cryptocurrency nobody's ever heard of,
I think Meow Mix should be the sponsor. That's what I think.
You would think. That makes sense.
Make a lot of sense. All right. Follow him on Twitter, George Richards. Please subscribe to Florida Hockey Now. It's like $3 a month. It's a joke, and you get great coverage of the kitties. And
I'm gonna spend more than that on tolls right now.
That's right.
Going across the alley. It's gonna cost me more.
Right. Right. That's all right. You're making a couple bucks here right now, so that you'll end up on the plus side here on the platform. So we take care of it.
Well, and I bought lunch. I bought lunch at Zaxby's, so now I'm in the red.
Ooh, Zaxby's. That's a classic. I like it. There you go. A little Zaxby's. All right, George. You're a stud, my brother. I appreciate you as always. We'll talk next week.
All right, my man. Be good, brother.
You got it. There you go. The great George Richards, baby. And our ALennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.